Alright, what's Geechee, y'all? Disclaimer, just so if you guys don't already know, since the conception of my channel, all my videos are primarily for my children, but I've kind of geared them more towards the so-called black man, as we're the recipients of the most lies. Now, as the title states, does Earth shape even matter? And primarily to the so-called black community. Now, I understand that the so-called black community doesn't give a damn about the flat earth or round earth conversation or topic. And, I've had people say it doesn't matter to me what earth shape is, it doesn't affect my life, or I need to worry about getting this bag or whatever. We're so carnal minded right now. Our people are so carnal minded right now. It's unbelievable. But, it's only a direct effect of what's going on. Nonetheless, I have two motives for bringing the deception of Earth shape to the attention of my people, to the so-called black community. And one is to bring forth the deception and the manipulation of this society, this military industrial complex based society, and to bring it to the attention of the so-called black community to heighten their level of discernment when dealing or seeking truth in popular beliefs. And second is to bring glory and validation to the Most High of the Bible, the God of Israel, as the scriptures attest for the true cosmology of Earth, of this realm that we all share. Now, on top of that, with the scriptures, your senses also tell you that there's no motion going on. You don't feel the earth rotating on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour, or however, they say you're rotating in terms of where you're at on the equator of this sphere, they say, allegedly. You don't feel earth orbiting the sun at 70,000 miles an hour. And you definitely don't feel the entire solar system orbiting the Milky Way galaxy, allegedly, at over 500,000 miles an hour. Now, on top of that, the explanation for the lack of detectable motion just from your senses, and they also tell you that you have five senses, only five senses, allegedly. It's not true. Nonetheless, they tell you is gravity. That's why you can't detect all these astronomical figures in terms of speeds and velocities and trajectories. Makes absolutely no sense, y'all. Now that brings me to my main point here, which is the scientific method. It's more than likely the thumbnail as well. Not this exact scientific method, but I got it brought up right here. This is more in tune with the scientific method that I was brought up on. It's more of a 7-step. I've seen a few 6 steps methods back, up in here, things like that. Nonetheless, I felt this one was a good breakdown of the actual scientific method that I perceive to be a true base in actual science. Now, a lot of you will attest this is very similar to what we were all brought up on in elementary and middle school science fairs and things of that nature. Now, this scientific method was used up until the 17th century. You can look it up yourself, but it wasn't, or it was up until the 17th century, then the scientific consensus adapted or imposed the mathematization of science. And in short, that just means the reduction to mathematical form. And that's essentially the only way that the globe actually exists is through their mathematical equations, their ridiculous trigonometry and things of that nature. Now, I need you to understand that math is a man-made language. The Most High deals with numbers. However, arithmetic is more of a conception by wicked men, more or less the devil. Now, as a language, math is subject to manipulation. And when they're using these trigonometry equations to prove the globe or the trajectories that I spoke about earlier, they're again subject to manipulation. They don't adhere to the scientific method here on your screen. There's actually no testing nor experimenting done. All they do is computer simulations and again mathematical equations to prove their theories of the Earth's shape being spherical and things of that nature. And the entire scientific community has been using the mathematization route, especially once computers came into mainstream use. They do a lot of computer simulations with their mathematical equations. And that's where you get these globe pictures and these simulations and showing you the asteroids and all that other bullshit. Now, the scientific method, as you can see here, you can pause it or it's been on the screen for a while. I'm sure you might have read it. Um, there's a legit process that you go through and you repeat it again and again and again until you get conclusive results that coincide with your questions in your experiment. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of ridiculous that we believe in something that cannot be proven with actual experiments. You can't go out anywhere and experiment and see that the earth is actually curved. There's any curvature. It's not detectable, period. There's no motion that can be detected, period. You know what I'm saying? We all know that water finds its level in anything, at a lake, at the ocean. They want to tell you that boats go over the curve and that's why you can't see it. That's just a matter of perception, what you perceive with the human eye. You only have a certain range and field of view with the human eye. But if you bust out a high capacity zoom camera, you'll bring that boat, hull and all, just about to the ship's line. There's a mirror effect that goes on with the reflection of the water at a distance and with the certain capacities of cameras. However, you can bring that boat back in view despite your lack of seeing it with the naked eye. You know what I'm saying? So when they say boats go over the curve, water does not curve. It always seeks its level. At any point you turn it, whatever, water is finding its level. They use water for levels. You know what I'm saying? It makes absolutely no sense. Water at rest, and even with the surface disturbance of the ocean, it still lies flat. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me at some point that water bends and curves, no matter what the distance. I had a local brother that just did an experiment, and you can perceive with the naked eye and also with the camera a laser from over 10 miles away. You know what I'm saying? The curvature calculations of the globe model say that there is uh, 8 inches per mile squared. You know what I'm saying? So there's over 15 feet of missing curvature between the distance of 10 miles. You should not be able to see that laser. You know what I'm saying? And the best excuse people have is light refraction. It doesn't work that way. Our sun is local, meaning it's close. It's not 93 million miles away, y'all. Now, on top of the manipulation of math, there's the manipulation of the language that we speak, that we share now, English. It's derivative of Greek and Latin, the heathen language. And we all know how the Romans and the Greeks got down. You know what I'm saying? With shows like Spartacus, all the homosexual acts and sex parties and all the extra sharing of women, and it's bad. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have Greek mythology where Zeus married his sister, and they were both born from Cronus and Rhea, if I'm not mistaken, and they were both siblings who married. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with wicked matters of men. You know what I'm saying? And more or less the devil. You know what I'm saying? Evil matters. And you have to get to the bottom. It's up to you, so-called black men, to investigate everything that you've ever been told and find the truth within everything. You know what I'm saying? Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Fact check everything I've said. Fact check anything I've said. I'm not here to deceive anybody. I have nothing to gain from this. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to improve the quality of my community and instill real culture, because at 27 years old, I'm finally coming into full-fledged truth. I've been misled. However, I've been on a truth journey for about 7 years, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying, brothers? Do your research. That's all I got for this one. You know what I'm saying? E out, y'all.